Hi, welcome to Ready, Set, Away. My name is Lynn, and today I'm going to talk about the Chase Sapphire Reserve Card. It's been a very hot topic lately with the recent changes, so I'm just going to talk about the changes, what I think of them, and I'm also going to use my numbers from 2019 to see if it's a card that I got value from and if I will continue to get value from. So let's get started. The Chase Sapphire Reserve will be increasing the annual fee from $450 to $550. And when I first found out about this, I was upset. I was a little sad because I don't know. It just felt like YouTubers were just recently talking about possible revisions or changes we would like to see as consumers to this card. So it did kind of feel like it happened very quickly. So if you are going to apply right now, the new annual fee is $550. I do believe that if you currently have the card, you will not be affected by the annual fee if your fee is due before April 1st. And if your fee is due after April 1st, then you will be paying the increased fee of $550. In my case, I was not so lucky. My fee is due about May, June. Just depends on when my statement closed, when it's due. So I will be affected, and I will have to pay an additional $100 if I decide to keep it. One of the things that I think would have been great is that if legacy card holders did not have to pay the increased annual fee for the first year. I think that would have been great. I think I was more upset about that not being able to have another year of the old fee because I already have the card. So that is my take on that. You know, that would have been awesome. You know, just make the sting of the increase hurt just a little bit less. You know, it still sucks. Nobody wants to pay more in an annual fee. So let's get into the added benefits of this card. The first benefit that Sapphire Reserve members now get is a Dash Pass subscription. And this is good until December 31st, 2021. And with Dash Pass, you'll save on delivery fees and qualifying food purchases. And what I think they mean by qualifying food purchases is that restaurant has to be participating with Dash Pass. I noticed that not all the restaurants that I ordered from were available with Dash Pass. So your savings is definitely going to vary when they say that, you know, the average subscriber may save $4 to $5 on each order. That might not be the case if your favorite restaurant is not available with Dash Pass. And I'm going to look at my numbers for 2019. So I went through my budget and just looked at where I spent my money, specifically in travel and dining. And in 2019, I spent $690.23 on DoorDash. That was 26 orders. And instead of using the average of $4 to $5, I made it $3.50. I noticed that not all the restaurants had the same service fee, the same delivery fee. There was a big swing. Some restaurants had 99-cent delivery fee, and some restaurants had as high as $6.99 delivery fee. So I went ahead and just did an average of $3.50, and when I multiply that by 26, that's $91 estimated in DoorDash fees that I probably paid in 2019. And because not all the restaurants that I ordered from were in the Dash Pass network, I'm just going to divide that by 2 and say that I probably could have saved $45.50 if I had Dash Pass last year. So I'm just going to use that as a good, just split it down the middle, since some restaurants were available with Dash Pass and some weren't. So for me, having a Dash Pass subscription will be beneficial. The next DoorDash benefit is a statement credit. Sapphire Reserve members will earn up to $120 in statement credits on DoorDash purchases through 2021. And the way that they're doing this is that they're going to break it up to where you'll have a potential to earn up to $60 in 2020 and then an additional $60 in 2021. And as you can see, I've already received a statement credit of $25.43. And I looked at my numbers again, and the DoorDash benefits will benefit me. So if I had this benefit last year, I would have maxed out this credit and got the $60 value for the first year. The next benefit is Lyft Pink, and Chase Sapphire Reserve members will now get 1 year of Lyft Pink when they activate by March 31st, 2022. And I'm assuming that that's when it ends. I mean, if you activate by March 31st, 2022, I would think you would get it for an additional year after that. With this benefit, you'll get preferred pricing, priority airport pickups, there's offers, and let's see what else I can see on this. Okay, relaxed cancellations, surprise offers, waive lost and found fees, bikes and scooters. You'll enjoy 3 free 30-minute bike rides or scooter rides per month in select markets. I did look it up and for the bike rides and the scooters, and that is not available in Tampa. I can be wrong. I'll look again to see. Maybe I was searching wrong, but I won't be able to use that. Honestly, that was the only thing I was really looking forward to. I looked at my budget to see if I spent anything on Lyft or Uber rides last year, and I did spend $68 on Uber rides in 2019. So I'm going to take that number and pretend I had spent it on Lyft with this new benefit, and I would have saved $10.20, and I would have earned an additional 404 UR points. So having this benefit really wouldn't have saved me that much, maybe $15 if I had Lyft Pink. So this benefit is not that valuable for me. The way that I use Lyft or Uber is just, when I'm traveling, when I'm out of town and I need to commute to the airport or get picked up from the airport. It's not something that I use on a regular basis around town on a day-to-day basis. So this benefit would not be that useful for me, but I would get some savings from it if I had Lyft Pink last year. The next benefit is 10x points on Lyft rides through March 2022. So you'll earn an additional 7x points plus the 3x points you already earn on travel. And you will not earn 3x points on travel purchases that qualify for the $300 annual travel credit. And I already mentioned what I would have earned on the additional 7x. So it wouldn't have been that much for me, but I would have earned something. When it comes to Lyft and Uber rides, it's just going to vary by the market. Some users will benefit from it, some won't. But if you're not in a market where those services are available, or you just don't care about them, then yeah, this new Lyft Pink and Lyft 10x benefit is not going to do you any good. So those are all the new benefits that Chase added to the Sapphire Reserve Card. And now I'm going to go over my numbers to see if it's worth me keeping the card. And before I get started on that part, I want to give a big shout out to Ask Sebi. He created a calculator that I'm going to use to input my numbers and help me decide if I still get value from the card. Now for the numbers that I'm using, I use mint.com to track my budget, and I'm going to use those numbers of what I spent exactly last year in 2019 to really get an idea of how much I'm spending in each category and if it makes sense. I do have a monthly budget, but sometimes things come up and I may spend more in dining, especially if I'm traveling, and I don't have a dedicated travel budget, but I do have money that I set aside each month and that I'll use that for travel purchases as needed. So I don't have a dedicated monthly budget for travel. I just set money aside for miscellaneous expenses, and that's what I use. So those are the numbers I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using my 2019 numbers. Now looking at the calculator, I'm going to do year X, spend only. I'm not eligible for a bonus, obviously. So I'm going to do spend only. And I'm going to select annual spend. And for Lyft, I inputted $68. That's what I spent on Uber, so I'm just going to put that same number. In 2019, I spent $2,666 in travel, so that's what I put in that block. In 2019, I spent $5,167 on dining. And then for all other purchases, I went ahead and put that in, and I spent $14,400. Normally, there might be another card that someone would use for to maximize rewards and earn additional points in that category, but I'm actually considering slimming down to a 2-card system or even a 1-card system. So I went ahead and put the $14,400 in the 1X points category. So for using 2019 numbers, I would have earned 37,679 UR points. And for my value, I went ahead and put 1.5 cent per point. I can get 2 cents per point sometimes, it's just not all the time, so I just thought it'd be good to just stick with 1.5. If I can get more value in that, that will be great. So my value with that point value is now $565. The next section is the credits. For the $300 annual travel credit, I value that at $300. For me, that credit is really easy for me to use. I would be spending that much money on travel and more with or without the Sapphire Reserve Card. So that credit is really easy for me to use. For the DoorDash credit, I went ahead and put the maximum value. My budget from last year, I spent $690 on DoorDash. So I don't see that being any less for 2020. I enjoy eating out, so that is something that I will definitely benefit from. The global entry credit, I actually have global entry and TSA pre-check from an old card that I no longer have. So I put that at a value of 0. I will need to renew that credit in 2021, October. So I went ahead and just left it at 0. I won't factor that in until 2021. So the total value of credits is $420. And that brings my effective annual fee down to $130. And this, prior to me using this calculator, this was very close to what I got when I wrote everything down. It was I came up with $130.26. So this was very accurate. I kind of wish I'd used the calculator sooner because it probably would have saved me some time. Now the next section is the CSR partnership benefits. I put 0 for Lyft Pink because I just don't use Lyft and Uber that often. I don't use the rides that often. That might change for 2020. So this is just based off my numbers from last year. I put 0 for DoorDash or for Dash Pass. I put $45. The reason why I put $45 for this value is because not all restaurants participate in Dash Pass. So I took my estimated fee from 2019, which was $91, and then I just divided that number by 2 to get a best estimate. For Priority Pass, I entered 0. I was unable to use Priority Pass last year. I couldn't use it at all. I tried. I was looking forward to being able to use the restaurant here in Tampa and even use a lounge that I had access to while I was in South Carolina, but it just depends on the time that you're leaving, because you may not have time to use the lounge, especially if you get to the airport right before your flight takes off. And in a couple of cases, the lounges were not in the same terminal that I was in, and my layover might have been an hour or less. So I just didn't have an opportunity to use Priority Pass last year. So I'm going to value that as 0. And the total value of partnership benefits for me is $45. Now moving on to the CSR benefits, I put $125 for a trip delay. And the reason why I did this was in 2019, my trip was delayed, my October trip. I think I was coming back in September. So my return trip was delayed due to a hurricane, so I had to extend my hotel stay. And I saved all the receipts, and when I finally got home, I submitted the claim, and Chase reimbursed me the maximum amount of $500. And I actually asked Sebi a note how he would value that going forward, because I don't anticipate to be delayed every single year, and if I am delayed every single year, I don't know if I'm going to get $500 each time I submit a claim. So he gave me this a formula to use to kind of figure it out, and he said that he would do probability of incident times likely claim, the dollar amount. So I went ahead and used, since I was delayed in 2018 and I was delayed in 2019. So I used 50%, and then I multiplied that by $250, and I came up with a value of $125. So that is why I have that entered in the 6-hour trip delay. Let me know what you guys think of that, because this, that it's just so hard to put an exact expected value on that protection, especially going forward. Everything else I left at 0. I probably could have put something for primary rental car insurance, but I didn't rent any cars in 2019. I did rent a car in 2018, but I didn't do anything in 2019. Okay, so my value of CSR benefits is $125. For the opportunity costs, I put 2%, and that is a value of $446. So my expected value based on my numbers is $159. And according to the calculator, Sebi's calculator, and my own, doing the math on my own, it is worth it for me to keep the Chase Sapphire Reserve Card. And Piper agrees with that. I don't know why she's meowing. She just ate, so she should be happy. She should be a happy cat. So I will be keeping the Chase Sapphire Reserve Card for 2020. There's a good chance that I'll be keeping it for 2021. The numbers make sense for me, so I encourage anyone out there who's on the fence to just look at their budget. It was fun to use numbers from 2019 because I really saw what I actually spent, and that can help you decide going forward what you can expect for 2020. And I do have some concerns about the expiration dates on the new benefits and what they plan to do when those benefits expire, if they're going to renew, if they're going to change them, and hopefully they don't take any benefits away and we're still paying the increased annual fee, because I think that would just really suck. I'm a new channel, so I can't run any polls, but I'm actually curious to know what, out of the people that are downgrading and canceling or not getting it all, I am curious to know if those same individuals have a lot of annual fee credit cards or if they have other premium credit cards, because I do think that when you start having multiple cards that are $100, hundreds of dollars just to have, you should be really taking a hard look at if you need to keep all of those cards, because I think for some people in those scenarios, they need to get rid of one of those cards because it just doesn't make any sense. So I hope you found this video helpful in deciding if you want to keep the card, cancel the card, downgrade the card, get the card because you never had the card, and just seeing what kind of value you can expect to get out of it, if you will get any value out of it at all. So please like, share, and subscribe, and as always, take care.